why are you still bullish on NFTs given the decline in trading volumes?
Well, you know, this is not our first market cycle, and we're bullish on NFTs because we think, you know, it's crypto and NFTs in particular is one of the only areas in tech that, you know, we've touched about 1 million NBA fans. There's 1 billion NBA fans out there. There's a 1,000x growth potential in the market just by building products that people want to use. And NFTs to me stand for open digital assets, assets that, you know, people are already spending $100 billion a year in digital worlds. The NFT technology lets those assets be portable, lets developers build new kinds of experiences on them. And the technology for that is just now getting to the point of maturity where, you know, it's good user experience, it's low cost, and it's scalability with blockchains like Flow and others helping make NBA Top Shot successful. So we've taken everything that's powered NBA Top Shot and recently crossed $1.2 billion in transaction volume there, and making it available to companies all around the world, from startups to Fortune 500. So some of the world's smartest folks are building in this ecosystem that for most of us is, you know, for most people out there is 1.5 years, 2 years old. And I'm super excited to see, you know, the value that's going to be created over the next little while.
And some of the biggest athletes and celebrities are getting in on it or trying to. You just announced a new partnership with Magic Johnson. Tell us about that and the role that celebrities and athletes will play here.
Well, I think NFTs, Web3 in particular, is just a way for communities to come together and for celebrities or brands to connect with their fans in new ways. So Magic really got this in a way that I haven't seen many folks get it immediately, and he jumped in. He's created a line of NFTs on NBA Top Shot, some of his greatest moments, some of the greatest moments from his history, and he's also put his annotations and sort of his commentary over these moments, and the fans have been going crazy. So it's really exciting to see that, and it's exciting to see NBA Top Shot become kind of a hub for if athletes want to engage with their fans. That's where they start because that's where the fans already are. And then the next interesting thing that we've got coming up is the launch of NFL All Day with the new NFL season. So we're excited to talk about that as well.
I wanted to ask you more about other sports on top of the NBA. The NBA has done so much in the NFT world already, but how much adoption do you think could expand into the NFL and other sports? What's on the horizon?
So Dapper Labs, we're working on NFL All Day and UFC Strike. NFL All Day should launch by the beginning of the season, and if folks are in LA, get excited for some real world benefits and real world integration between kind of the NFT economy and then showing up to the season opener and things like that.
But what does that look like? Because on one hand, you do have this virtual world and huge communities being formed online, but at what point does the rubber hit the road in the real world when you are going to sports games?
Well, I think it goes two ways. One is people that are going to live games, they're going to be earning free kinds of NFTs. We call them flow attendance tokens or proof of attendance tokens. And people will even be able to earn different kinds of those for dialing into broadcast games and being essentially an engaged fan. And that sort of bridges, that's one way to bridge the physical world into the digital world, give folks something to do with their kids and friends as they watch the live game, give some value back to folks that show up to the arena. And then on the other hand, we want to take our best collectors, folks that have spent tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on inside the economies of these various teams and leagues, and show that data to the teams, and the teams themselves, they want to provide special experiences for those folks. This is a younger generation, folks that, you know, they might have season tickets, but they might want to engage in the sport in different ways. They'd rather, you know, have $1 million NBA have $1 million in LeBron moments than a courtside seat. But still, when they show up to a game, they expect to be treated differently, and this technology allows that because it's open and you know, the data is visible for anyone to be able to build on top of.
I love the Warriors, Roham, but we're baseball fans. My kids play baseball. What about baseball? I mean, FTX is on the uniform of every umpire in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I mean, so Dapper Labs doesn't work directly with baseball, but we have a number of other companies that are building interesting products. And like I said, we've opened up our tools, so whether it's the Flow blockchain or the Dapper wallet on top, so that you'll probably see other companies using our tools to build their products on top. So you can use the same credit card you have loaded up for NBA Top Shot to transact in any number of other marketplaces and virtual worlds.
Emily was just talking to the co-founder of Solana. We had Magic Eden on earlier in the week. There was a lot of conversation about shifting away from just Ethereum into Solana NFTs. How much are you seeing the NFT community float into other chains? Do you think that move is going to be more aggressive?
I think so. I mean, in a lot of ways, but it's new communities also being created. The community on Ethereum is incredibly strong. There's only 20,000 transactions in the last 24 hours because it's expensive to transact on Ethereum. So you end up seeing a lot of expensive, high-value assets being transferred, whereas on Flow, it costs fractions of a cent. You can sell something for $1, and that is just much more accessible, much more engaging to folks. And same thing on Solana, very low cost, high volume. And that enables new kinds of user experiences. You know, the world that we believe will exist is certain things will happen on different networks. Just like today on the internet, you have Microsoft Azure as well as Amazon Web Services. You have EC2 and S3 and all of these, and it's the developer's job to build on top of them in a way that makes it simple for the user. And so we've built Flow as a computation chain, and it provides a certain a level of both low cost, environmental friendliness. Is by far the most environmental friendly blockchain. But at the same time, in NBA Top Shot, you can still spend Bitcoin, you can spend Ethereum, because those are great payment networks. And so we think that this kind of specialization will accelerate in the so-called crypto winter. But more and more users, there's 1,000x growth potential in this industry, and that's very different. And so that's what we're focused on.
Okay, let's talk about the winter. I know you've been through downturns before. How are you evaluating this one in particular and what's different about it and how crypto survives it?
I mean, I have no doubt crypto has been through multiple downturns. I mean, you guys know that as well. And like I said, it's the only area in tech, one of the only areas where there's a direct 1,000x increase in terms of the market size that we as software developers can accelerate just by building products that people use, that add value back to fans, and that make it easier and easier to build on top of this technology, which is still quite challenging in many ways. So, what is different about this downturn? It's a generalized downturn rather than the last couple of crypto winters, which were sort of specific to crypto. But at the same time, we've seen in previous recessions the people's mentality changes, but they still want to engage in entertainment. They still want to engage in sports and gaming. They just want to get more value for their time with their kids. They're going to get more value for the money they're spending as fans. And NFTs and crypto is all about giving value back to the fan, giving value back to the user. Because if you spend $1 in a digital world that's not crypto enabled, you're never going to get that dollar back. If you spend $1 on an NFT, it keeps giving back to you. And at the end of the day, it's liquid. You can transfer it, you can keep it forever, or you can give it to your kids, whatever it might be. And the ecosystem we're working on with our league partners at the NBA, NFL, UFC, is to say, well, look, let this be the backbone of a loyalty experience for each of those sports. And in an environment of crypto, an environment of generalized downturn, let's give back to the fan. Let's make sports an excitement, an entertaining activity that they can engage in both in a digital and physical world.